Welcome back to Bash Bros and episode 36 of Notorious Pro Wrestling, the TEW Let's Play series where we find out what exactly would happen if Conor McGregor started his own wrestling promotion. And yous are back for the Fuck What They Think pay-per-view. So the last time you guys were here, the big news was that we had signed a brand spanking new TV and events deal in the form of Fight for our pay-per-views and Eurosport for Wanted. All in the hopes that we can finally reach a small-sized company. You have missed 1 week, so let's see what happened on last week, October week 3's Wanted. We had Kenny Williams beat Grado to help that rivalry continue. Kenny Williams versus the Grado Talent Agency rivalry helped that continue. And afterwards, Kenny kept shitting on Grado. Whoopsies. That's a slight spelling error. Kenny kept hitting Grado with a kendo stick. Because he wants a match with Mark Andrews, and Mark Andrews relented and gave Kenny his match. We also had Michael Satomura defeat Nicole Matthews. Then Tessa attacked Maiko, leading to Riho returning and making the save. And in the main event, we had Tenille Dashwood defeat Kaylee Ray to give Tenille a bit of momentum going into her match with Viper tonight. It was not a great show, truth be told. The main event let it down with a 44 rating. So before we book the show, let's take a look at the match card and the storylines leading in to our pay-per-view, to our Fuck What They Think pay-per-view. Kenny Williams was once the star of the Grado Talent Agency, but once Grado went and signed Mark Andrews, he's got a chip on his shoulder and split away from the fun-loving babyface group. Kenny Williams, with his new attitude, beat Amir Jordan. He beat Grado, and now he wants to beat the man who he feels took his spot, Mark Andrews. They go one-on-one tonight in what will be the blow-off match for this feud. Also tonight, Tessa Blanchard will take on the final boss, Maiko Satomura. Tessa Blanchard has had a long, bloody feud with Maiko and the Jushi wrestlers. Although the Jushi wrestlers may have won the fight, they did not win the war. Tessa, after a short break from NPW, came back with a more ruthless attitude than ever, injuring Riho and trying to injure Maki Ito too. Maiko plans to put a stop to that tonight as she faces Tessa Blanchard one-on-one. Awesome Kong, yeah, you heard that right, Awesome Kong announced her retirement from wrestling just a few weeks ago. So, why the fuck not? We brought her in for one final match and she will be going against another female monster in the Alpha Female. Who will win when these two unstoppable forces meet in the ring? Tonight we will find out. In a blossoming tag division, we finally crowned our first tag team champions of NPW, the Grizzled Young Vets. However, they have had to cheat several times to overcome their big rivals, the Mighty Don't Kneel. But a new challenger approaches in the form of the newly signed Jonathan Gresham and Jay Lethal. Gresham and Lethal won this opportunity in a 3-way tag match, beating the Mighty Don't Kneel and Filthy Generation. Can the newest tag team to the division beat the crafty Grizzled Young Vets? There's only one way to find out, and that is to put them in that ring and let them fight. Tenille has benefited from taking her protege Zia Brookside under her wing and trying to teach her how to survive in the harsh world of professional wrestling. In a big 5-way number 1 contenders match, Tenille got the win thanks to Zia Brookside interfering on her behalf and has now got a shot against the NPW Women's Champion, Viper. Viper is trying to show Zia that she's just being used, but Zia will hear none of it, as she is finally on a winning side. So tonight, the manipulative Tenille Dashwood takes on the NPW Women's Champion Viper, one-on-one for the title. And in our main event, after months of speculation, the master was revealed to be Jake the Snake Roberts, And thanks to Jake's interference, Pentagon Jr. finally dethroned Chris Hero and is the new Notorious Pro Wrestling Champion. But Hero will not take that lying down, and after his selected team of Easton Reese and James Storm defeated Pentagon and Sonico, Hero has earned the right to pick the stipulation for their title rematch. And Chris Hero has picked a steel cage match to keep away Jake the Snake Roberts and Sonico. Will this equaliser be enough to allow Chris Hero to regain the NPW title? We will find out tonight. So that really is the card for the Fuck What They Think pay-per-view. I think this could be a very strong pay-per-view. I definitely think Hero and Penta in a cage match should hopefully be a very strong outing. And I think the tag match will also be a very strong outing. If I had to guess a disappointing match, I'm going to go with the Women's Championship match, because I feel like Viper has just been a big letdown and Tennille is unfortunately still carrying an injury. So yeah, them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. But let's book it, shall we? Okay, and we are back, coming at you from the Europa Hotel. It is the Fuck What They Think pay-per-view. So, a couple of things coming out of this, or a couple of things while booking this. So, unfortunately, Mark Andrews is double booked with Attack. That sucks. He's going to be in the Grado, or he's going to be in a match with Kenny Williams tonight. So, instead, we have Kenny doing a wee angle beforehand, and then he's going to go on to face James Storm. That match will probably take place next week. It'll take place next week on Wanted. I'll look at bully things then. So as you can see from the booking analysis, so as I said, the Kenny Williams Mark Andrews match will not be happening, and Tennille is obviously carrying a broken forearm into her match with Viper. After her match with Viper, I'm having Tennille having Tennille do an angle that will give her and Zia time off. Zia time off just for the storyline, and Tennille time off to rest her injury. But other than that, let's get into it. So backstage, Jen interviews Lethal and Gresham, who say it's about time that the NPW tag titles start to be defended with honour. We wink and nudge to their time at Ring of Honor. It's a 52 rated segment, very good. In our pre-show main event, we had Easton Reese versus Ken Malmsteen. In a match that had great heat and good wrestling, Easton Reese defeated Ken in 10:28 with a powerbomb. Oh, Ken sustained a cracked tailbone. That's not good. Easton had a 49 and Ken had a 36. Probably hindered by the tailbone. I wonder if that was due to a botch. 33 segment, it's okay, it was on the pre-show, don't really mind. That didn't seem to be for much. Okay, so on to the main card. In a bout that had fantastic heat and good wrestling, Awesome Kong defeated Alpha Female in 10:18 with a sit-out powerbomb. Kong had a 43, Female had a 49, and Kong debuted her gimmick, a legend gimmick, which is obviously, she's going to be here for one appearance, it doesn't really matter. And a 44 match overall. So yeah, this is going to be Kong's one and done match. Just thought it'd be nice to bring her in for a wee retirement match. She deserves it. I mean, Awesome Kong has had a hell of a career, and I hemmed and hawed about having her lose or win, because yes, it would be nice to get Alpha Female to rub, but because it was the only match, I thought, screw it, we'll give Kong the win. Make everyone start out hot, you know. Post-match then, Alpha Female attacks Awesome Kong until Crazy Mary Dobson makes the save. 43 segment. So this is going to be a storyline going forward with Crazy Mary Dobson versus Alpha Female, which will then lead to the debut of one Margot Quinn, aka Liv Morgan, aka Marley, apparently. But yes, that's the point of that storyline. In an in-ring segment, Kenny Williams is out and he is mocking the fact that Mark Andrews, you know, he's like, oh, what, did Mark have an NXT UK taping tonight? Oh no, wait, he didn't, because he got fired from there. Unlike me, I'm an NXT UK superstar. So Kenny's giving it all this. Grado comes out to try and defend him, and trying to defend Mark. But then Conor McGregor comes out and is like, you know what, Kenny, you're right. You should have a match tonight because you're such a big deal. So I got this guy. And James Storm comes out. Why James Storm? Why the fuck not James Storm? So James Storm comes out, and that is the match. Then we will have Kenny Williams versus James Storm next. 81 segment because Conor does tell Conor do the talking. So in an exceptional match, Kenny Williams defeated James Storm in 14:48 with a quick roll up. Kenny had a 53, James had a 54, and it was a 51 rated match altogether. Not bad. Those are both very good performances. Those are over 50, as we know, is a TV pay-per-view or TV main event. So very happy with that. Next up, in a superb match, Tessa Blanchard defeated Meiko Satomura in 15:04 via a submission. Meiko had a 54 and Tessa had a 48, and it was a 50 rated match. A bit low from Tessa. Tessa is usually a 50 rated performer. Meiko just being very good overall again. 50 segment again is not bad. Post match, I should say, so in that match also what would have happened was Riho and Maki would have started to make their way to the ring when all of a sudden Joe Henning and Davey Boy Smith jump out, and they don't attack them because that's not cool, but they would definitely kind of block them from going to the ring, which would lead to Tessa then getting the win. Based then after the match, then Tessa poses with Joe Henning and Davey Boy Smith over a downed Meiko. So this has been my plan for a while. I've always wanted to put Tessa with the Dynasty guys ever since Dynasty first formed. Because of this whole like second generation, third generation superstar thing, I think it's a very good fit. On top of that, and call me a cock, but I always like the idea of like a stable led by a woman. You don't see that very often. I think it's especially powerful whenever like she's like got guys, like whenever she's the leader of a male faction. I feel like it's very cool, and it's not something that's seen very often. So yes, so going forward, Tessa is going to be the leader of Dynasty. Next up, in an exceptional match, Grizzled Young Vets defeated Lethal and Gresham in 2028 when Gibson pinned Lethal using underhanded tactics. And this is defense number 3 for the Grizzled Young Vets. Gresham had a 64, Lethal had a 61, Gibson had a 53, and Drake had a 53. 60 overall. Awesome match. Awesome match. This easily could have main evented. Really, really happy. Still don't know who is probably going to dethrone Grizzled Young Vets, but it could possibly be Lethal and Gresham. Maybe. I don't know yet. Still happy with like Grizzled Young Vets. Doing a 53 rated is not a bad performance at all. That is where I would want any of my champions to be at the minute, so I'm happy enough with that. Next up, in a bout that had fantastic heat and good wrestling, Viper defeated Tennille Dashwood in 1936 with a Michinoku driver, following a botched interference from Zia Brookside. And this is defense number 5 for Viper. So Tennille had a 40, Viper had a 46. Neither were good, but Tennille has the excuse of being injured. It was a 46 rated match overall, so it was Viper did actually kind of help Tennille get up to where we needed to be. After the match then, Tennille fucking goes to town on Zia for accidentally costing her the match. She doesn't want to hear excuses and just beats her within an inch of her life over and over again with a chair. Viper tries to make the save, but due to the fact she's ran down from the match she's just had, and also for the fact that Tennille has a chair, she just can't save Zia from this brutal beating. And then agents and medics come and then help escort Zia out. Probably put her in like a neck brace, you know, that whole thing. 46 rated segment. In a backstage promo, Penta says his prayers to the master before heading out for his match. 53 rated match, or 53 rated segment. Penta and Jake both did the talking there, so it's not bad. Right, the main event. I would like to think the main event's going to be about a 63. I'd like to think it's a 63. Fucking nailed it. In an exceptional match, Pentagon Jr. defeated Chris Hero in a cage match in 25-19 by pinfall. Pentagon, making this defense number 2 for Pentagon. Hero had a 63 and Pentagon had a 60. The 63 hero of the match, which I called. Yeah, they're both still my best talents. This will be the blow off. Chris will go on now to do other things, and Pentagon has a slew of challengers lined up to face him for the title now. So I'm very happy with that. Very happy. 65 rated pay-per-view. Good main event followed by, or backed up by, a Conor McGregor promo. Yes, very happy with that. Only disappointing match in my opinion would maybe be Easton Reese Ken Malmsteen match, but it was on the pre-show, so it really didn't affect anything. Okay, so a little bit of news coming out of Fuck What They Think. So Okada won the G1. Well, this is like the 30th time winning it. So Okada won G1, and Walter's contract is up in NXT UK. Like, let's be honest, there's no point in me even trying to get him. I would love Walter. Like, come on, who wouldn't? But there's no point in me even trying to get him. WWE have offered him a contract. Like, I'm not going to outbid WWE. That contract will be exclusive written, and I can only offer him like a handshake. So that is it for this week. Next time you will be back will be next week for the Fallout show of the Fuck What They Want, or Fuck What They Think pay-per-view, where we will look at the storylines going forward for the next month. We also have a couple of debuts in the works, as discussed. We have Aussie Open still waiting to debut, we have Martinez still waiting to debut, and we also have Margot Quinn, aka Liv Morgan, waiting to debut. So looking forward to incorporating them into the storylines. Also have to decide who will be Pentagon's next challenger. But that is it for me this week. As always, leave a like on this episode if you did enjoy it, and do consider subscribing to our channel. And if you have any ideas for storylines, feuds, or anything like that, leave them in the comments. With all that being said, I will see you next time on Bash Bros.